Hello everyone. So today is 31st of January, and as you all might be aware that Department of Economic Affairs, Ministry of Finance has come up with the Economic Survey 2016-17. So first let me clarify what is the difference between Economic Survey and the budget. See, the Economic Survey is for the year 2016-17. That is, it studies all the policies of the government for the last year and tries to find out the loopholes in those policies implementation and tries or gives opinion how to plug in those loopholes, while the budget is an estimate for the next year expenditure. Okay, so this is the basic difference, and mostly the economic survey is presented one day before the budget. This you should remember. Now today we will have just a preview, and I will tell you what you need to do if you want to read economic survey in a proper way. I will also tell you that economic survey is the most important document for you. Why? Because a lot of question is going to come from this 335 page document in prelims as well as in means. So for an aspirant, it is like Gita or Quran or Bible. Okay, so you must go through it. I will try to give a brief summary of each chapter one by one later on. Okay, so let's start. We'll have a preview. The economic survey this year has been divided basically into three chapters. What are those? The first chapter is named the perspective, the second chapter has been named the proximate, and the third chapter has been named the persistent. Okay, so we'll deal each and every aspect, important aspect in each chapter. Okay, so as far as the very first chapter is concerned, the very first chapter in it deals with redistribution. If you have read our constitution, then you might be knowing that it should be the aim of the government to have equitable distribution of income and to remove disparity in the society. So for that, one scheme which is called universal basic income, so that has been thought of. So we'll discuss that in later on. So it's a radical new vision. So it has not said that it is important right now, but it is important to at least discuss the universal basic income. Now what is universal basic income? It says that instead of giving a lot of subsidies on various things, what we should do is we should demarcate suppose below poverty line people, and we should give each and every person a certain amount of monetary help, and that will do away with all the subsidies, and the transfer should be through jam. If you don't know, then Jandhan, Aadhaar and mobile. Jam stand for that. Okay, then the second chapter deals second section deals with trade policy of India's. We'll discuss later. Then climate change, as you might be knowing, International Solar Alliance was proposed by Mr. Modi. So that is one step. Then India has its own plan to rebuild the infrastructure for solar power and wind power. So that is dealt here. And then ensuring women's privacy, that is also important topic, and that also will deal when we'll discuss this subsection. Okay, later. So this is one thing very much important, that is India soon to receive demographic dividend. So what is actually demographic dividend? See, there is a time in nation's history, suppose this is 1950 and this is 2000. So this is the case for China, say for example. So there was a time around say 1980 when most of the Chinese were working age. Now the working age population can earn, while the children which are not working and the retired people are the liabilities on working population. So if you have this maximum population under working age, then we say that we have a demographic dividend to reap. But reaping a demographic dividend is totally a different thing. If you will give proper skill to people, if you will educate them properly and create enough job, then only this dividend can be reaped otherwise it will become a demographic disaster. So this chapter deals with that. We will also discuss later on. Now coming to Proximate, the very first thing is demonetization. Demonetization no doubt has a short term pain, but can there be possible gains further? So what we can do now, it says about what we can do now that demonetization has happened, that will maximize the positive effect of demonetization and minimize the negative effect of it. Okay, then festering twin balanced problem. So if you had read the economic survey of last year, then this problem was there also. So this NPA issue, so and that is not going to not vanishing at all. So how to deal with it, so that topic has been dealt in this chapter. Then physical problem, the world is changing, should India change too? So physical problem, you know what is fiscal policies and all, you might be knowing. So fiscal policy is basically made by the finance ministry, while the monetary policy is dealt with RBI. Okay, so you might be knowing about FRBM Act. So there was a committee, NK Singh committee, and there were other people also like RBI Governor Urjit Patel and our Chief Economic Advisor Arvind Subramaniam, who has presented this. So he was also there and in this committee, and they have come up with some suggestions. So we will have to see whether their suggestions are going to be, their recommendations are going to be implemented or not. Then clothes and shoe, can India reclaim low skill manufacturing sector? Okay, let me explain, again go to demographic graph and then I will try to explain you. See, or let me explain here. See, what happens is every economy first is a primary economy, that is agricultural. So it is said that the Britain, they first started as cotton industry. The very first industry which boomed Britain was cotton or jeans industry. Then they came to jet industry. So one by one you switch from primary, that is agriculture, to jeans. Jeans is manufacturing, something manufacturing, the second level of it. And then jet, this is the level of manufacturing. Okay, first agriculture like cotton and all, and then jeans industry, and then you have in this jet industry. The last one is jet industry. For example, Germany is very ahead in jet industry. For example, all the famous cars are German cars. Okay, so what it wants to say is India has a potential of reaping this dividend by providing skills, to cheap skills which can be taught very easily to people. So there are some very easy to learn skills that can be taught to different people, and those industries like jeans industries can be uh, uh, can help in India's growth. So it deals with that, clothes and shoes. So we don't have to make jets and cars that much. If we will fully use this particular thing, then also we can move further. Then review of economic development, we will deal with this also later. Universal basic income, again conversation with and within Mahatma. Okay, so here I will deal this section particularly later. I have prepared a different thing for it. Now coming to third section, which says income, health and fertility. So we need to increase income of people, then health facilities, and then fertility. So you might be knowing there was MDG goals, Millennium Development Goals. So India remained could not achieve few of those goals. So try to know what were those goals which India failed to attain. And what is TFR? TFR is total fertility rate. So that you should know what is it. It is on an average a woman how many times she becomes a mother. So that is TFR. Okay. Then second subsection says one economic India for goods and in the eye of constitution. The constitution says that India is not a federation of state, but it is a union. That means no state has right to separate from it Okay, so that is what constitution says. We are one country and we are one people. So if the trade, the economic India is also made, all the barriers between state are removed, then we can reap a better potential. It deals with that. Then India on the move and churning new evidences. It deals that India nowadays a lot of people have migrated from rural areas and small cities to metros and big cities. Okay, so how to deal with it? And it deals about that. So from competitive federalism to competitive sub-federalism, that is cities and as the dynamo. So it says that we have cooperative federalism as something. So we also have competitive federalism, wherein we compete with other states to perform better, but the spirit of competition should also be there at the level of cities also, so that they can improve better. So now what you have to do is, when you will open economic survey, you will come across this page. This page deals with all the abbreviations which are used here. So you will find that a lot of abbreviations would be there that you might not know. So try to know that abbreviations. And some of the reports are also there. For example, you can see your World Economic Outlook. So some of the reports will be also there. So you should read who prepares this report and all. So this is your homework, and let us discuss further. And the key highlight of this budget is, the very key highlights are GDP prediction. That is, the prediction of GDP has been in between 6.75 to 7.5%. And why this large gap? Because of the demonetization effect. We don't have any history of it, so we can't predict what effect it will have. So that is why the gap has been so much. Now, universal income, a conversation with and within Mahatma. So you might have known these two quotes of Mahatma Gandhi. And the first one is Talisman, you might have read. The second one is, Mahatma says that no labor, no meal. In the first quote, he says that we should look at the poor at our aim and then make our policies. And the second says at the same time that we should not give freebies to them. There should be some labor. For that, they should be given the privileges. So it deals with the concept of universal income. That is, a certain sum of money should be given to the poor, but that will be given at a cost of labor. Okay. Now the next part deals with effect of demonetization. So as we don't have any historical data, it will be very hard to predict what will be the long term output of it. But it also says that we will try our policies to make in such a way that the positive effect of demonetization will be maximum and the negative effect will be minimum. Okay, so it says about that. Then there is something called big data. What is that? Big data analytics will be used to catch the tax evaders, especially for those people who have deposited beyond a certain limit in the banks after 9th September. So after the demonetization announcement, a lot of people have deposited beyond a limit. So all the data are put together in big data, and it will be used to catch the tax evaders, and penalties will be charged from them. So this was the basic review of economic survey. Tomorrow there will be budget. For that also you should at least listen to budget. And after that, what we will do is we will discuss each and every chapter of economic survey one by one briefly. Okay, so this was all for today. Thanks for watching.